Welcome to the Broker Podcast with Jack Stapleton, founder, co-owner, and broker of Realty Texas, one of America's most respected independent real estate firms. Early in his career, Jack was named Realtor of the Year, top producer, and helped over 1,000 families buy and sell properties. Later turned industry leader and broker, Jack founded Realty Texas and built it into an empire with over 400 agents, tens of thousands of transactions closed, with billions in production. As former board president, NLS chairman, real estate instructor, software engineer, and technology innovator, Jack knows what it takes to succeed at every level. Welcome to the Broker Podcast.
Welcome to the Broker Podcast. With me today is Andrew Constancio.
Hello, Jack.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
My pleasure. You know, I was just looking you up a minute ago.
Uh-huh.
You were licensed June 3rd, 1997.
Correct.
That's 28 years in the business.
Correct.
What's your number one takeaway?
You have to love real estate. To stay it this long, that's for sure. And I definitely love real estate. And I don't think I could do any other job. I think I want to stay here as a real estate agent and just perform until I can't perform anymore.
It's an amazing career. It's not for everyone, is it?
No, it's not.
So I heard you brought me some questions.
I did, Jack. I brought you 5 interesting questions that a broker, I think like yourself, already knows the answers, but I just thought I'd just give them anyway. If you got time, would like to go over?
Sure.
Okay.
So just to introduce Andrew a little bit more, Andrew is the Realty Texas Sales Manager. We now have 401 agents. So he has 400 agents that he is responsible for helping them increase their production, hold them accountable. And that's a lot.
It's challenging.
That's a lot.
But I enjoy it.
I think that, supervising 400 agents is a big task, and you've done a fantastic job.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, let's jump into question 1.
Okay, question 1, Jack. What qualities do you see in a sales agent who consistently performs at a high level?
Yeah, well, it's the number one thing.
Yeah.
Those sales agents that are out there, they have the tenacity to get stuff done immediately. They've got the power and the energy to get stuff done. They don't procrastinate.
Yeah.
You've got to have high energy. You've got to want to get everything done and have that stress and anxiety at night when you're about to go to bed and you haven't finished it all.
Yeah.
Get it done. You got to be focused. And you have to love the sales profession.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people get their real estate license and they don't know what they're signing up for.
True.
They don't know that this is a sales business.
Yeah.
I don't think the real estate schools do a good job selling what this profession really is. It is the apex sales job.
Yeah, it really is.
Once they realize that it is a sales job, the most amazing thing about this profession, in my mind, is how diverse it is. There's never a dull moment. There's a constant chance for learning, and you never stop learning, and there's always something new.
True.
So I think if I had to boil down success in real estate, the one thing is focusing on getting it done, because you have to chase customers down. You have to continue selling all the time.
Sure.
And those agents who procrastinate, who leave things for till tomorrow, tomorrow never comes, and you got to be hungry.
I like what you say that you have to get it done, that those people that stay after it. I see that a lot in some of the successful real estate agents. They're out there and they're working late and they're working long hours just to finish. So that way they can go to bed at night and everything's done. No stress. And then they go right back at it the next day. So I totally agree.
Oof, Angie, that is so true.
Yep.
It is so true. I mean, what's great about a sales job is sales agents, salespeople in the United States make more money than any other profession.
True.
And as a real estate agent, you build your client base. It's kind of like running your own business.
Yeah.
And that means up early, work out, get yourself in the right mindset, and put in a hard day.
Yeah.
There is no such thing as punching a clock. So it's going to be long hours. It's going to be weekends. It's going to be evenings. You just got to not lose yourself in all of that. You can't lose your family in all of that.
Yeah.
You have to keep a good commitment to family, education, God, keep your priorities in order. Stay away from the vices. Yeah. Don't let alcohol and all those other things be the release that you need from the anxiety. You got to find productive ways to offboard it, and stay focused on a real estate sales job. Because once you do it right, it's the best career in the nation.
I agree. That's great. Thanks for answering that question. My second question, what skills do you believe an agent needs to focus on right now to stay competitive in today's market right now?
You know, what I love about sales is since the 1960s, since the 1930s, sales has not fundamentally changed.
Yeah.
The world around us has fundamentally changed. Yeah. But sales has not. Mm-hmm. And sales is about one thing, focusing on income-producing tasks.
Right.
It's all about that. So where are you going to find your next client? For most agents that wake up every single morning, unemployed.
Yep.
So where are you going to go find your people? So communicate with your spheres. Let everyone know how thankful and grateful you would be for the business. And again, focus on income-producing tasks, whatever those are.
Yeah.
And it could be that you are geographically farming a neighborhood. Could be that you are involved in some type of club, whether it's a sports club or something that has a lot of referrals coming from it, and you maintain those relationships. But you're going to have a sphere of influence. Your sphere is going to be your number one producer of leads, and not being shy about telling your people that you're in real estate, and that if they know someone looking to buy, sell, or lease a home, that you'd be grateful for the referral.
Absolutely. I just became unemployed a few minutes ago.
You still, congratulations on your closing.
Yes. I just helped somebody, a longtime friend. I've known this guy since, 27 years, okay? And him and his wife were looking the last few years, and COVID hit, and they said, we're gonna pause. And then they decided let's move forward. And I showed them a house, and they got in a great deal, great greenbelt view. Everything just worked out with the builder. And we went to closing just a few minutes ago. They're so happy. We took their pictures, and everything went well. And then I posted on Facebook. I'm like, glad to help you guys and all that. And then I'm also asking for more business from my SOI to see if anybody else needs help. But then I just became unemployed, so I have to find another person to help. And so I totally get that. Yeah, I really do. All right, thank you. My third question, from your experience, what daily habits separate successful agents from those who struggle?
Ooh, yeah, taking care of the big stuff first.
Yeah.
You know, you eat an elephant one bite at a time, but you got to focus on the income-producing tasks first.
Okay.
A lot of agents out there, they want to be their own assistant, and they thrive at doing flyers and doing marketing and all that kind of stuff. And if you put being your assistant in front of income-producing tasks, or you don't really know what income-producing tasks really means, you can focus on all the wrong things.
Yeah.
Most agents are a one-man, one-woman show.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a team of people standing behind them in their business. So it's their job to market, to prospect, convert those prospects into clients, convert those clients into closed transactions, and then massage those relationships and get referrals from them.
Yeah.
And if they're responsible for all of it, and they're focusing on too much database entry, too much flyers, too much back office stuff, and they let the income producing tasks slip and they focus on the administrative tasks, they're most likely going to fail. And if they really thrive on those back office tasks, they might make a better real estate assistant than a real estate agent. Yeah. I have found that those real estate agents that are just creating a big old cloud of dust all day long, and all the papers are flying in every which direction, and their back office is a mess. But they're out there having conversations with people and maintaining those relationships and going to parties and being the first one to talk about their amazing real estate story, just like you did a moment ago about your closing. Then an assistant can come in and clean that up.
Yes.
But fundamentally, they're doing the right things. But if their back office is in perfect shape and their front office is, quiet as a mouse, then they either need to flip roles mentally and step into income-producing tasks and get out there in the world, or if they're going to focus on that, most likely turn themselves into, and I hate to say it, but a real estate assistant, because they enjoy the back office more than their front office.
Got it. So, in other words, don't be shy. Get out there, and if you are a people person, you'll probably be more successful engaging with people, having conversations, And then, of course, you got your real estate license. You're out there and either promoting your listings or looking for buyers or landlords or tenants. Sure.
So I'm not going to go as far as to say that if you're an outgoing person, you're going to be more successful.
Okay.
But I am going to say that if you're not an outgoing type personality, that you're going to have to work harder to be one.
Yeah.
And if you can force yourself to do that, then you'll be just as successful as those people. But there's really 4 personalities out there.
Yeah.
You've got your green personality, which, is your deep empathetic personality. Your blue, which is going to be your engineer type. Your yellow, which is, very, very outgoing. And your red, which is your drivers.
Right.
And everyone is a mix of colors.
Yeah.
But once you know what your color is and you focus on that, then number one, you're going to be able to identify other people's colors and help deliver content to them that makes sense to their brain and how to process information. But more importantly, what things you're going to struggle with and what things you'll need to work harder on. And when it comes to a salesperson, you need to focus on the one thing, which is establishing relationships, like you said, not being shy, and getting out there and sharing the good news that you are a salesperson and you want to help them with getting a roof over their head. One of the most admirable professions that we have, helping people buy, sell, and lease homes.
I'm glad that you explained that because a lot of people, they don't get that there's different personalities out there. And that it doesn't matter what your strong point is, you can still do it if you have a passion for it.
And so that's why you need a coach.
Yeah.
A coach is designed to see the blind spots that you can't see for yourself.
Yeah.
And a lot of those is just a blind spot. And I look for the triggers, like people who are really spending a lot of time in the back office stuff.
Yeah.
As you know, I teach Mega, and you graduated Mega.
Yep.
You did a great job.
Yep.
It's our 80-hour salesperson masterclass.
So whole month event.
Yep, an entire month. And one of the incredible things that I see in Mega is I get to watch agents' journey when they're getting all the way through to the end. And one of the things I see is agents who find a database, start entering all their people, and then get all the way to the end of entering all of that data. And then a little pop-up box comes up as a reminder to call their first contact. They freak out, close their computer, pause. And then think, you know what, maybe the CRM's not for me. Maybe I need a different CRM. And they start all over. And that process continues around and around. And what they're doing is they're putting tasks in front of actual fear-based picking up the phone and calling someone because it's going to be scary.
Yeah.
So I was, share this story back when I was about 5 years old and I was standing on the side of a pool. And I wanted to swim.
Yeah.
But I was terrified of jumping in the water. And I remember spending about probably 6 hours, or it seemed like 6 hours, who knows how long it really was, until my dad got frustrated with me and just kicked my butt right into the pool.
No.
Now I'm floating in the pool and I'm treading water and I realize, wow, this isn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it's the fear.
And that's the same thing for agents. We got to get them on the phones and get them over that fear, because one of the things we do in Mega is we actually make them call 5 random people.
I remember. Yep.
And the one theme that comes out of that is, wow, this went a lot better than I thought it did.
Yeah.
They were happy to hear from me. They even give them referrals.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Now we got to just coach them on productive conversations to have on the phone. But once we get them on that track of picking up the phone, calling their people a few times a year, if they can do that, that is the answer to your question.
Awesome. I got it. Thank you. Okay, my other question. As a broker, what is your biggest challenge you face when it comes to managing or supporting a team of agents?
Oh, man, I thrive on it. I thrive on it.
Yeah?
I think probably the headwinds. It's nothing internal. It's all the external stuff. We're continually being driven into different directions based on the winds that come out of nowhere in a heartbeat, whether that be COVID, whether that be the interest rates going from 3% to 7%, whether it be the sit or burn it case, where a $6 billion lawsuit that was put against National Association of Realtors and the practice changes, whether it's, a whole bunch of new contracts that come out at one time, and now we have 400 people to coach and get them very comfortable explaining those contracts to the clients. So internally, we've got really good training programs.
Yes.
We've got a really good culture, and culture is everything. We have spent a lot of time curating this brokerage to make sure that everyone can thrive. And it's a different philosophy. You've got brokerages out there that really focus on recruiting and internally help them build their own brand.
Yeah.
And the agents can survive inside that brand, building their own business.
Sure.
Or brokerage that actually invest in their agents helping them with leads, helping them with conversion coaching, accountability, websites, all the tools. And so I think internally, I don't have much struggle. But the thing that makes it most difficult for me is the headwinds, especially when it's dealing with market churns and getting the agents focused on the right things.
Right.
Now, agents' mentality can get fear-based. Oh no, the interest rates went up. What am I going to do now? And getting them to remember that there's no such thing as a bad market. It's just who you focus your attention on and what clients benefit from that market. Some markets benefit buyers, some markets benefit sellers, and sometimes where we are right now, November 2025, a balanced market, which is you can renegotiate a fair deal. I'm liking the market that I have right now. But I think if I had to boil it down to one challenge, the one thing that really sends me for a second panic, and I think, okay, how do I solve for X? And then start really focusing on, delivering something that's going to help our agents get through it, which is sort of me standing between them and the headwinds, giving them solutions to walk through it or to see through it, because oftentimes they can't, is those external factors that are continually, we just came through a government shutdown. Yeah. And the panic that, ensued for that, keeping the agents with the scripts that they need to be able to communicate with their buyers and sellers out in the field who are also panicking.
Yeah.
And, the unemployment rate rising and transactions that are under contract, and now buyers and sellers wanting to exit transactions because they're afraid of the economy, afraid of losing their jobs. How do we help keep them sane through the transaction? Because part of the job of a real estate agent really is being a psychiatrist and a counselor to clients and delivering that information to them that makes them feel calm through the transactions. So again, it's the headwinds.
Wow. You answered that great. I thought that was going to get you, but it didn't. That was good. That's a good one. My last one, Jack. Where do you think the greatest opportunities are for agents to grow their business over the next year?
Ooh, I think there's some huge ones. So number one, I think if agents were to focus on the smallest territory possible, they're going to make the biggest gains.
Okay.
So many agents get in the business and they want to be everything to everyone. And that doesn't work. It's been proven since we've opened this brokerage. I mean, I've been in the business for 21 years. You've been in the business for 28 years. The one consistent theme is those agents who focus on the smallest territory make the most amount of money. Geographic farms in one neighborhood, become a neighborhood specialist, sell a lot of homes, list a lot of homes. Those agents who are maybe focusing on a downtown condo situation, agents focusing on, farm and ranch in the suburbs, that kind of thing, or maybe just focusing on suburban homes and a residential real estate agent. Those people who have a niche, those agents that focus on those niches, and follow up with their people and secure their place at the table.
Yeah.
Those are the agents who are going to thrive. You see a lot about social media. Social media is branding a real estate agent. Now, I'm not going to say that agents aren't getting a lot of business, and there are agents who become social media influencers, get tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, even millions of followers, and they can build a business from that. But you're talking about the one thing that they're doing, and they're focusing a massive amount of time and energy on creating a larger sphere. Now, I see agents who have been in the business 30 years and they've got a sphere of influence, basically a database, and they're calling their people 3 times a year, sending out just listed cards and just posted cards and advertising the same way we have over the last 60 years and building a really good business. You can jump into the business and you can find something that works for you.
Yeah, that's for sure.
It's not all about you have to follow this new hot trend to be successful, because that's not true. You can be a real estate agent that focuses on open houses and be successful. You can be a real estate agent who focuses on geographic farming and be successful. You can be a real estate agent that focuses on doing reels and being social media and driving business. These are all true. Over the next 18 months, agents are going to need to focus on buyers.
Yeah.
Where are they going to find buyers? And make sure that they, to their spheres, are the expert in the marketplace. Position yourself as the real estate expert. Pick up the phone and show people you care by reaching out to them. There's one story I like to share, all right? And it's neuralistic programming. Everyone's synapses in their brain doesn't quite work the way most salespeople think it works. Most agents think, well, if I just market myself a lot, people are going to notice me and they're going to call me. Well, if you market yourself as a real estate agent and then someone says, who do you know that's a real estate agent? Maybe that person will fire in their brain.
Yeah.
But when it comes time to, I want to buy a home or I want to sell a home, that is not the same synapse that fires in your brain. So there's two independent synapses, let's say, for a buyer. One synapse in their brain says, I want to buy a home. And the other one, my friend Joe's a real estate agent. And those two things fire independently. But if that real estate agent picks up the phone and calls Joe and connects those two things in the brain by saying, hey, if I'd love to be your real estate agent. When you're ready to buy a home, I'd love for you to give me a shot. Or if you know someone that's looking to buy, sell, lease a home, I'd really, really appreciate your referral because it would mean the world to me. Now, they put those two things together. So now when Joe decides he's going to buy a house, now buying a home, this other one fires and those two things happen. Now, you're supposed to, when you create a new neural pathway, you're supposed to reforge that 3 times. Okay. Which means that's why we call them 3 times a year. And how are you? How's the wife?
Yeah.
Things are going crazy in the market. What questions you have, if anything, and talk to them about what's going on. The government shutdown just ended, and so we've got some pent up buyers, and so we're seeing the interest rates come down a little bit, and things are,
I've seen it.
All the things, and spend some time with your coach, your team, put together some top valuable things that you can share with them on the phone. And if you do that over the next 18 months, reconnect with your sphere.
Yeah.
Remind everyone that you're in real estate. Let them know what you would love them to do if they are ready to buy a home or hear someone talking about real estate. Your phone is going to start ringing and you're going to find a lot more transactions out there. What do you not want to do? Probably pick up the phone and call Zillow and start asking for $1,000 leads. Correct. Or picking up the phone and, calling Realtor.com leads. It is much better. There's a statistic that says that most likely your next transaction is going to come from someone you already know.
Yep.
The likelihood of that. So if we know that is true, then the question becomes, who is it in our sphere that is going to be that person? And it's on us to pick up the phone and find out, not on them to call us. So we can, do our jobs of picking up the phone and connecting with our people and having those conversations and building a business that is based on prospecting, calling your spheres, building your relationships and maintaining those relationships over time. And if those people do that, that is how they're going to survive
for the next year,
18 months.
Yes.
But, real estate agents all the time call me, come to my office, and they say, well, Jack, one of my friends wants to fire their agent, hire me. Or one of my family hired another agent and they're calling me for advice. What do I tell them? And so I say, well, you can't interfere with the relationship that they have with their current broker. So if they want advice from you, tell them you need to call that agent's broker. We're not happy with them. But let's get to the real root of the problem. How did this person not think of you when they were purchasing your property? Yes. Because that's the root of the issue we should be talking about. And it's because, is it the friend's fault or the family member's fault that they went under contract with someone else? Or is it the salesperson's fault to not make sure that they secured their business?
They weren't top of mind. Yep.
They weren't top of mind. So they let that business go to someone else.
Yes.
They invited someone to come in and start poaching their database.
Yeah. When I ask in the morning huddle the agents and I say, talk about farming, I said, do you guys feel a little like, did somebody put a sign in your neighborhood? How does that make you feel? They're like, I hate it, Andrew. I hate it. And I said, okay. Get out there, let them know that you're a real estate agent in the neighborhood, and start to market it. And so when they start to see it, and that makes sense.
I do a geographic for myself, and I see signs pop up in my neighborhood, and it always reminds me that I'm not working hard enough.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking on enough doors. I'm not having enough community events.
Yeah.
One of the great things you can do in a geographic farm is, embrace all the other real estate agents and do a community open house weekend, and make friends with those agents and be picking up the phone and saying, hey, what buyers you got coming through your open house? What kind of traffic do you have coming through your open house?
Good advice. Yeah.
And really double down on creating those relationships, because I always think this. We had 30,000 transactions close last month in the state of Texas. There's a lot of business.
That's a big number.
Real estate agents can't close 30,000 transactions. Most of them are wanting to close on a good month, 10. And that's a lot. That's top producer status, right?
That's a lot.
And I think that was the most I've ever sold in a month. Most agents, 52 transactions is what they would consider a stellar year, and that's one a week.
I never did that. I think the most is like 5 or 6 on average a month, and that was good for me.
Oh, so that means you're not going to get all the business.
Yeah.
And you don't want all the business because there's no way you could handle all that business. So stake your claim, work on your farm, maintain your database, and that's going to secure your place at the closing table.
Cool.
It's a relationship business.
That's for sure.
So I guess that is the last question.
Yeah, it's short and sweet, Jack.
I appreciate you coming and being a guest on the Broker Podcast.
I love it. My first time here, it went real smooth. I like just the way you explain everything in detail. So if anybody out there is listening, they definitely gonna get it about the details about how much you care and definitely about your knowledge in real estate.
Well, thanks again for being on the podcast.
Yeah.
If you have some questions for the Broker Podcast, please email those questions over to manager@realtytexas.com. We will take those questions, we will put them in a hat, and we will have those live. I typically don't know what the questions are ahead of time, so I'm always just off the cuff answering them, but I love doing it. Thanks again for watching the Broker Podcast, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks, everyone.